It is huge. The irony is no one should be gerrymandering. And Democrats have proposed year after year after year national legislation at the federal level to prohibit gerrymandering throughout the 50 states.
So okay, I'm going to take the contrarian view on this.
No. I'm just saying, without the national amendment, then it's a free-for-all. Then to me, it's like boxing, right? The Queensberry rules: you shouldn't hit below the belt. But when your opponent hits you below the belt, if you don't hit below the belt, you're in trouble.
So should Democrats in Virginia proceed then with?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me why.
Okay. Because there is no federal solution, and we should, all Democrats, all good Americans, should support a federal law banning gerrymandering. There's all kinds of ways to do it. I've written legislation on this when I was in the House of Delegates, all of that. But once Donald Trump decides to say, democracy doesn't matter, we're not going to let the voters choose us, we're going to choose the voters by drawing lines, and orders Texas mid-decade, not during the census years, to change its seats. For the sole purpose, change its lines, give us 5 more seats. If you don't fight fire with fire, you're just going to lose. You know, it's like the example, I always think of it, I talked about boxing. I'll give you another example, playing Monopoly. If you're playing Monopoly with someone, and they keep taking $500 out of the bank whenever they need it, that's wrong. And you shouldn't do that. But you're never going to win the game if you don't also take 500 out of the bank. The game will probably never end. The answer is we should stop the theft, stop the corruption, stop the gerrymandering. But if your other side is doing it, then you're not doing it. Only leads to your loss of power, and then you can never stop gerrymandering. And I remember having this big fight with a lot of Virginians when it came to Amendment 1. Because a lot of Democrats said to me, Mark, we got to be good, gerrymandering's wrong. And I'd say, yes, gerrymandering is wrong. And they'd say, so we have to give up our power in Virginia because Republicans will give up their power everywhere else. I said, no, they won't. No, they're not going to do that. You're naive. You're nice, you mean well, you're naive. And they said, well, but if we don't do it, it's kind of like if someone punches you in the face and you're like, well, I'm a pacifist, so I'm just going to sit there and not punch back, and then you just get bloodied. It's not the way it should be. We should live in a world of nonviolence. But when people break the rules, sometimes the only way to get people to follow the rules is to fight back using their terrible methods. And I know that sounds ugly and it sounds unfair, but I'm afraid we have to fight fire with fire.
Totally agree.